builds of Magda. So we started off in a really, really synergistic build, really in on treasure tokens, playing Legion Extruder, which is a card I want to play some more of. Legion Extruder, Goblin Engineer, Scallywag, Magda, really in on the artifact stuff. I think this build went okay, kind of mediocre, but like I was pretty impressed by Magda the Hoardmaster. And then this build was definitely better. This build was definitely better in my opinion. We lost playing for a trophy with it. This build is kind of in on the Sunken Citadel field mana base in the Urza Saga show, which is something we've done before, while also playing the Inti Asmo package. I like the Inti Asmo package a lot. I think that Magda makes a lot of sense here. I think that this is a deck that we worked on a lot a few sets ago. Some people top aided with various builds of like the Inti Asmo package. Definitely something here, but so far what I've been liking the most has been this just kind of generic red mid-range build. For maybe lack of a better word, it's just kind of individually harder for your opponent to pick apart your pieces here, which is something I like a lot. But we're playing 24 lands, way up on the lands, because our curve is higher, and we have a lot of mana sinks in the lands. Because we're playing 24, we can afford to play the full 8 field effects, which I think is great in the metagame right now. The field effects are really nice, alongside the full 4 Sunken Citadel. I'm actually really happy to play 4 Sunken Citadel in combination with Den of the Bugbear, because if you have 2, then like 2 Citadels fire up a Den, so it's like not as bad to draw 2 copies of this. That makes sense. Den of the Bugbear, I think, is also awesome. I think it makes sense to be on Din over Urza Saga in the Ring deck, where it's always kind of awkward to have 4 mana plays that like your Saga just kind of, if you play your Saga on turn 2, it can be awkward to like also play the Ring. Obviously not the biggest deal, but I think it's kind of nice to just like keep the lands in play. If that makes sense. The one weird card we're playing is Scrabbling Claws. This is kind of like a Relic of Progenitus variant, where the top mode is the same. Tap, target player exiles a card from their graveyard, but instead of exiling itself and exiling all graveyards, this sacrifices itself and exiles a single card from a graveyard. So notably, this second mode also commits a crime, compared to Relic of Progenitus, which only the tap commits a crime every turn for Magda. And kind of simply put, in a deck with Dragon Regis Channeler and Unholy Heat and then also Magda, it's just better to main deck this as your extra crime generator for Magda. I do think that these kind of effects are really important, so that you can play Magda on turn 2 and commit a crime the same turn. I think that's something you really, really want to be doing. With the card, and then the extra crime possibility with the 1 mana sack is pretty nice too. We get to play Jegantha, which is awesome. Continuing to play the Miltax. Let's go. Spellskite, it can always commit crimes. Spellskite can't commit crimes, right? That's you're just making a joke. Yeah, so good calls and Scrabbling Claws maybe. Although I think that the main deck Graveyard Hate is pretty nice at the moment, and it's pretty cool to be able to just get to play the field package here, and then just like the really, really grindy Ring Fable deck. Gutshot a crime. Gutshot commits a crime, yeah, but you only get 1 treasure token a turn, so to really maximize Magda, what I think you usually want to do is commit a crime on your turn and your opponent's turn, so you're making 2 treasures a cycle, and then you get to untap and make a Scorpion Dragon, and like Magda's just great if it's like if it's a 2-drop that makes 2 treasures. Magda is incredible. And then like that's kind of like almost the minimum, or like make 1 treasure die pretty good. And then if it lives, it's gonna absolutely take over the game, making a bunch of Scorpion Dragons. The Ring seems bizarre here, but I'll bow to the brew for now. Yeah, the Ring seems bizarre. This is like you think of this deck as a slow mid-range deck, a grindy mid-range deck, and the One Ring sure is good in these kind of archetypes. I feel like, especially where it fits on the curve. I think this is kind of an easy Ring deck, to be honest. I'm definitely gonna keep this. It's like, I don't know. The card certainly has upsides. It certainly is nicer with Magda. It is also just a worse card than these field effects. Like kind of simply put, it's not as good as Sunken Citadel either. But like Field of Ruin and Demolition Field are better cards overall. Volatile Fault is better with Magda, but if you have Magda active anyways, like you're likely in good shape. Goblin Engineer not in this build. We had it in our first draft, so probably getting our Magda or Fable taken, saving the Bauble to commit a crime with next turn. The old 21 drop mid-range deck. Yeah, this 2024. It's like pretty normal. Scam probably plays like at least 16. I think Scam and Murktide. I think every mid-range deck plays that many, right? Or I'm gonna crack Bauble my turn because of Boatmaster. I think the most common. Hold on. Okay, Rectus Scam, one of the most common mid-range decks. 4, 6, 8, 16. 16 1-drops. Murktide, obviously million 1-drops. Domain Zoo's less, but still like 8 plus 7, 15. Just like this is mod. You play a million 1-drops. Can we get away with Mox Hammer deck? No, like kind of almost don't ever play that card unless you're grinding station breach comboing. There are going to be some exceptions to this, but for the most part, Mox Amber is not a good card. It's just like too easy to pick apart. Let's talk about Kiki-Jiki Marjorie Stick Tax. You do think is winning right now? It's not. It's not very close. Who do I think is winning? Drake is getting destroyed. It seems. I'm definitely getting a little bit more invested than I was previously. Okay, I hope we can draw a Scrabbling Claws too. Get rid of that Croxa at some point. Max, 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. It's Delirium on the Chandler also. Good way to make treasures. Question mark. The best way is committing crimes with Magda. We also have Ragavan and Fable. Wait, we drew our claws. So let's attack first. Citadel's pretty nice with this Den of the Bugbear too. Yeah, I think to some extent, when it comes to the Drake Kendrick stuff, who you're just gonna kind of say whoever you're the bigger fan of is winning. you're gonna be like, my favorite is winning. That being said, Kendrick is winning by a lot. It's like it's not even like really. It doesn't really seem to be that close. Draven, 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Do you still have the NordVPN partnership? I do not. No, but thank you for asking. Okay, play the Sunken Citadel opponent. All scam opponents are precious, and they need to take their time on every single turn. What about Stingerback Terror? I think the card is almost embarrassingly unplayable. It's like it's like it's definitely a card that functions and has text, and so like to that extent, like it isn't the worst, but I really, really, really would not want to put it in my modern deck. It's slow, it doesn't do anything to turn you plot it. It's just also a big dumb creature, which are for like big dumb creatures for 3 and 4 mana are really not something you want. Steelback's Finance Legacy. Yeah, Legacy is very different, especially with like Ancient Doom and Tough. In Legacy, you can just play big dumb creatures a bit easier, to be quite honest. Okay, so they one short of escaping the Croxa here. I've played against it a few times, and there's definitely one match where if my opponent just played any good 3 mana spell like a Fable or Kolaghan's Command, I was super behind, but they just plotted a terror, and I was like, all right, can't lose. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe the Inspiring Timmy account we would get some faster opponents, but that seems to be not the case. Okay, likely gonna go double field into second channeler here. Yeah, playing a big dumb creature on turn 3 isn't good, and like plotting it so it doesn't even come down is even worse. So they usually have 3 basics, occasionally 4. But maybe they will not have any red mana either. Nice. So we can copy a channeler and fire up with Dead next turn. But my opponent just concedes. Okay, so we're going to bring in these Flame Slashes, and that's about it. Just having a ton of 1 mana removal spells is a good formula against Scam. I think I'm going to go down to 1 copy of Ragavan against the Bowmaster deck. Skepsis, 8 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Because if on spawns for big dump fires, what I need to get your respect by yeah, it's okay. So it could be kind of easy to be like blind. I know this better than anybody, but it can be kind of easy to be like blinded by cards that you like, and you're like, it's a big flyer, is this card big breaker? But and then like you play it a couple times, you're like, I won this game and it was good. Like the card is gonna be in the games it wins and it's good. It's gonna look really good, but it is like that because it's a win more card. It's a card that like is great when you're ahead, and it's a card that it's great if it doesn't die. But it's really easy to like just like be in a spot where you spend 3 mana and your opponent spends 1 mana, and you get 1 for 1 for like 1/3 of the mana. And whenever that happens, it's like such a huge blow. Okay, on the draw for game 2. You with Aragorn, yeah. And again, I know this better than anybody because nobody's more guilty of pet deck syndrome than me. This is deck not want any Urza Sagas to fetch Bauble's Claws for crimes, etc. It seems like Saga could be good with treasure tokens. We've played a build of this deck with Saga. Saga's a little bit awkward with the One Ring. It also requires you to play like a bunch of like kind of mediocre hits. We're playing Den of the Bugbear over it. I've been pretty happy with that so far. Also, kind of simply put, like yes, Urza Saga can help you hit your crime generators, but the deck is very good at committing crimes. We have plus the 8 fields. We have like 24 cards that commit crimes, and Scrabbling Claws commits crimes every single turn. It's not. At the moment, I don't feel like it is something we really want more of. My opponent didn't take the Dragon Rage's Channeler, which could imply that they have an Orcish Bowmaster. So what I'm actually going to do is cycle the Bauble now because of the Bowmaster and just chill. Try to wait until this has Delirium. Cool. Magda's awesome play. Hopefully it doesn't get discarded. Maybe channel a Sokenzan. Don't actually need to tap the claws on my turn since I'm gonna commit a single crime this turn cycle no matter what. So I can either respond to a removal spell, tap end of turn, and maybe I can get a card out of the yard. Mark, 29 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. They do have the Bowmasters. We also know they have a Fable in their hand, so, and they have the land. So I guess I'm hoping that that's all they do this turn is play a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, because then I'll get to get the Magda going. Nice. I commit a crime. Not Playground Sunshock, dang. Pretty tight. Good after the Bowmaster with the claws and the ring. Not quite delirious. Went into main phase. Went into main phase for Undying Effects. Opponent decides to not loot any card away here, which is interesting. So if they go Hardcast Grief this turn, we can still make a treasure token. Okay, so we get a Scorpion. Can Sokenzan target their flip Fable as a crime? No, this makes 2/1/1s. Channeling Sokenzan does give me Delirium, which is very notable here. Oh, Shinka. This is not a legend on the flip side, but yeah, if they had a Ragavan in play, this is a crime committer, which is part of the reason to play it in the deck. So I'm thinking here about so I can attack with the Magda and then have the ability to give it first strike, so they don't really have a good block. I could also I could attack with everything, and then if they put the grief on the channeler, then I could channel Sokenzan. Get him for 6. Yeah, I think I'm attacking with everything here. Okay, I think I'll just allow the Chandler to trade here. Tap on our turn because we could still sack the claws for another crime on their turn, which I think is something I want to do if the Magda seems like it's gonna live. I can also tap just the Citadel and a Mountain to channel Sokenzan at this point. Could have also played Sokenzan and then gone Field plus Shinka to maybe be able to save the Channeler. Oh, although notably, my opponent has to actually have a card in the graveyard for me to target here, so they can't actually commit a crime end of turn at the moment. Ooh, a Shieldred. Yeah, and I cannot commit a crime here, unfortunately. So they got one card in their hand. I spoke with the 50 months. Let's go. It's a long, long time. So I'm going to get in for 4. I can Shinka target the Shieldred for crime commission. If I can also Demolition Field. Okay. Their last card being Fatal Push is kind of devastating, I guess. Doesn't really seem like I should be channeling the Sokenzan now. So they're going to go up to 9 life points. 50 months of spoke. Let's go. 5-0 for 53 sub. I'll try. Definitely a good deck to try to do it with. You're a Ragavan? Yeah, the Magda activation is sorcery speed only. So I'm going to channel the Sokenzan. I think I'm just going to jump block the Shieldred and take 2. Texas Top, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate you. They did draw Ragavan. So we're going to draw down to 9 life points here. We're going to draw down to 9 life points here. We're going to draw down to 9. Okay. Okay. Drew a Fable. So I can fire up the Den and play the Fable. I think we're likely gonna take an L here. Likely gonna trade this Reflection activation for the Den. When a Volatile Fault might be better as +1 treasure is relevant. Volatile Fault is a worse card than Demolition Field or Field of Ruin. It is a worse card. It is slightly better with Magda. It is worse overall. Let's just play the better card. You know, there's always a conversation of like power level trade-off versus like synergy when you're talking about deck building. And Volatile Fault, kind of, again, just very, very simply put, that card sucks. That card sucks, and you should play the bear card. That'll be $5 a month for the rest of your life. Okay, interesting attack. Easy block. So the dragon, if gone unanswered, will win the game over the course of 2 turns. I'm going to go down to 7, and then I'll go down to 5. It seems like I'm likely going to have enough blockers to live. I guess they're going to have 3 of these. Maybe not. So I've lost... I've lost 2 treasures, so unfortunately cannot make a Scorpion Dragon this turn. Can make a Scorpion Dragon next turn. So I guess because I can make a Scorpion Dragon next turn, should I be just playing Magda or just not? Because they can go make Shaman, untap, attack with everything. I go block, take 2, 4, 6, die. Okay, I guess I do definitely need to be not attacking. Top deck removal spell. I brewed Magda with Aether Grid. Aether Grid is a card that I've kind of determined to not be playable after playing it a bunch. Post MH2, I think the card is really shitty. There's just so many better 3-drops to play. I understand the synergy though. Vidal, 12 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Did we need to hold a field? Shinka can commit our crime for us. Although I could also just Shinka my Magda to save it. Is that my secret Smurf Moto account? It's my very public Daybreak content creator account. It's 3 mana, feels like 2 in my head. Well, we could have held up Demolition Field by just doing Shinka. We could have held up with the Sunken Citadel. If that's what you're saying. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is this game 2 or 3? This is game 2. You can see on the screen it says game 2. Then the up means we're up a game. The red arrow means we're down. Okay, kind of a weird attack. They seem like they really don't want to attack with the Shieldred. So I can go block here, and I could just take 2. I think it's got to be better to. Oh no, yeah, sure, yeah, just take 2, so I can just make a dragon for lethal. Yeah. Hope they didn't draw anything. The dragon like moved over to the right side of the screen, and for a split second, I'm like, oh fuck, we lost our dragon in combat somehow. Traumatized from all the misplays I've made over the years. Shinka the crime committer. Let's go, dude. It's a crime to give your opponent's creature first strike. It's pretty cool. Oh. Alright, gonna keep this. I'm gonna go Channeler, no Bauble, so I can save the Bauble for Magda turn 2. Committing a crime with Shinka to make enough treasures for a lethal Scorpion Dragon is a good way to start your Monday. Content created. Mino, 13 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Which Magda version is my favorite? So far, I was playing this deck yesterday. I think this one. Oh, fuck. I didn't play the Channeler. What the fuck? I'm playing around Bowmasters, actually. So far, this one has been pretty promising. Sorry. Too busy tweeting. Cracked down because of Bowmasters. I obviously meant to cast the Channeler. Oopsie doopsie. So now we'll go Channeler, Bolt, Crime. Scorpion Dragons are pretty good against Yawgmoth. This was my experience yesterday. So graveyard this. I'm considering attacking with the Magda. I'm going to attack with the Magda for sure. I think I should Bolt if they block, because I have the chance to make the Channeler delirious outside of Bowmaster range. Why don't you play Blood Moon sideboard? It's too slow, not good in the meta. Yeah, it's kind of slow, because it's like on turn 3 is like when your fields go online a lot of the time. Not all the time. Obviously, you can make your fields active sooner. But a lot of times turn 3 is when your fields go online. So it's kind of weird to like play Blood Moons also, which is why I wanted to play Damping Spheres instead. But you can play Damping Sphere, you can play Magus or Blood Moon. I was definitely like agonizing on the decision between all of these cards for a little bit, and I decided to just kind of not sweat it as much, if that makes sense. So this should be Delirium. So I commit the crime of bolting a Wall of Roots. I am paid off for my crimes by making a Scorpion Dragon. That's a 4/4 haster that can go after the Grist. I'm very okay trading Dried Arbor and Insect Token for Magda at this point. been playing Timeless? I have not. I've been wanting to play Timeless with the new cards, but it's kind of been the case that like they print these kind of interesting cards for like Timeless, like Show and Tell. They printed a bunch of like stuff for the new set, and modern is just so interesting to me in this time frame that it just takes me too long to get over to Timeless because I'm just too dived into modern. But and then it kind of seems like I'm a little late to the party. We'll try to figure it out. Trying to field them this turn so I can commit a crime instead of playing the Din tapped. So they have a Grist Cauldron, but we have a lot of points of power and toughness in the air, which are going to be able to put a lot of pressure on my opponent here. They did also mill a Yawgmoth, which is interesting, to say the least. They have a Bowmaster. They also get to play it here, which could be a little awkward. Not the biggest deal. What was the saga cut reason? So like kind of simply put, in like your generic in your mid-range decks, without a lot of synergy for Urza Saga. Like if you want to play the One Ring, if you want to play Fable, you want to play Ragavan, you want to play Dragon Regis Channel. Urza Saga isn't very good in these decks. Urza Saga is really good in decks that have lots of synergy. In decks that are playing, they're going to court for one. It's interesting because can I just fire up the Den now? Decks that have lots of synergy, decks that are really trying to do like a specific thing. Like Saga was really good in the Inti Asmo build. Saga was really good in the Aether Vial Construct build. This deck is just like a generic mid-range deck where Ursa Saga is just not that good a card. So I fire up the Den, they block the Den, then they take 3 + 7, so 10 damage. Yeah, seems like the right thing to do against the Yawgmoth opponent. About Mana Drain, Powering Reclamation, and Timeless. I don't know, that seems okay. Reclamation, it definitely gets a lot better with Reclamation. Atrex, 4 months, thank you, welcome back. So Yawgmoth player at 2 is a lot scarier than Yawgmoth player at 1. I understand why we went Scrabbling Claws and Asma build. Why Claws of Relic in this build? So Claws are better than Relic in this deck because we're playing 8 Delirium cards, 4 Channeler, 4 Heat. There's a big tension between playing Relic and a bunch of Delirium cards. And Scrabbling Claws is capable of committing 2 crimes in a turn cycle by itself. You go tap, and then you target a card in your yard on their turn. So you can make two clue treasures on the same cycle, which is not something Relic of Progenitus can do. So I know it's kind of a weird, obscure card, but it is definitely better than Relic for these reasons. Is Magda herself good enough for producing treasures? Yeah, Magda is very... So you also have like Fable and Ragavan, but you don't really need more than just Magda for Magda to be good, or you don't need more treasure generators for Magda to be good. Like this deck is just very good at committing crimes. Like if you watched this game, maybe you haven't tuned in, like this game, Magda has made 4 treasures. 3 of them became a Scorpion Dragon. The other one became mana. For 2 mana, that's a good card for 2 mana. It made a treasure the turn it came down. Wait, they're minusing Grist. Is this ever going to be enough here? I have 2 flyers. What are they going to do about the other flyer? Are they going to... I guess they're going to Cauldron my Magda to turn off Delirium. So we're hoping... Okay, and they're doing that main phase. So that they can make more tokens. So we, I guess, assuming we don't draw anything better, we'll just cast a ring for Delirium or try to get Delirium. We also fire in with the Den, but then they've got some pretty good blocks. So yeah, this is Delirium. What do you feel determines when a mid-range deck can't play Ring? Mana curve is the biggest thing, I guess. Like some mid-range decks just don't want to play 4-drops. This deck I think is pretty interested in playing a ton of lands because you have the Sunken Citadel. You just have so many mana sinks in your lands. You want to play more kind of naturally so that you don't get mana screwed, and you're able to like kind of facilitate any flood with like Din of the Bugbear and the fields to some extent. And then when you're playing 24 lands, and then the rest of your curve is not that high. Like you have 4 3s, the best 3 in the format, and then everything else is 0, 1, or 2. It's kind of easy to play 4-drop in your deck. If you have more 3s that you want to be playing, it's harder to play this. Kind of simply put. So I'm gonna bring in the Flame Slashes and the Needles. I'm gonna cut all the Ragavans. I've been liking Claws in the matchup so far. I think I've been kind of waffling behind cutting the fourth Fable in the fourth ring, leaning towards cutting the fourth ring just to kind of get leaner, meaner, better against Bowmaster. Although we do have a lot of answers to Bowmaster. Could you see Rin 6 being in this deck? No, the mana will not work to play Rin 6. Or you could play it over. You would have to play it over like the entirety of the mono red land package. But the problem is if you cut the fields and the Sunken Citadels and you play Rin 6 fetch lands, then all of a sudden, oh no, we have no plan. Again, if we play against Tron and Titan, the matchup goes from like pretty reasonable to like unwinnable game one. And you can maybe play Abyssage, but it's just not. You could play like Abyssage main, although maybe not with like all these red. It's really awkward. Spike White Claws over Relic. We just got talking about this. We're in a Delirium deck. We have Channeler Heat. No Relic. Relic bad with Channeler Heat. Relic better with Magda. Or Claws better with Magda because it can commit 2 crimes instead of 1. Can commit 2 crimes on a turn cycle instead of just 1 like Relic can. Okay, so we are on the draw against Yogg with a Channeler Bauble hand. So going to be kind of naturally weak to Bowmaster. My opponent's on a Mull to 6. I think against a Mull to 6 on the draw I'll keep with 24 lands in our deck. Pox, 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Could you play a Crucible? If you're going to play Crucible, I'd want to play like at least 8 basic mountains. Because you're going to run out kind of fast. I probably would just not recommend playing it. Did I skip your use of message? I didn't skip it on purpose. I'm going to go for the Channeler Bauble here. Kind of rewarded for doing so. They don't have black mana up, so I'm going to crack the Bauble now. Another Halfling. Gonna get an upkeep stop to maybe heat a Halfling. Elflord 25 months. I just missed it, Mobius. I'm 28, so you're 20 late. I'm glad I came back. Elflord 25 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Alright, getting attacked for 1. So they have a Halfling and they have some other cards. So we go. Upkeep, heat a Halfling. We've missed on our Scry, our Bauble draw, our first draw step. We also have so we still have our Surveil to save us, and we do get bailed out by the Surveil. So I'm gonna go Field of Ruin Needle, trigger Surveil again. They cracked the Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, no, it was funny, Mobius. Of course, I always hate missing resubs on accident sometimes. So if my opponent had a could almost keep this Bauble. If they had a Grist, they would have played it last turn. If they had a Cauldron, they would have played it last turn. So kind of an easy Yawgmoth Rand position name. I guess basically always naming it anyways. We draw a land next turn and go Magda Claws. I'll be pretty happy. Get 3 cards in their hand. Scavenging Ooze. So that card's pretty good against the Channeler. Big draw step for me. So there's actually only 1 creature in a graveyard right now. So I suppose maybe I should have just bolted the Ooze first. Okay. Now even if I surveil a creature into the yard, we're fine. Yeah, bobbling your opponent does commit a crime. As it should be. So the claws can start committing crime for Magda. Opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. We've got a Needle on Yawgmoth. I've been getting shielded a bunch by Yogg lately. Not this time, thankfully. If I draw a land, I think I'm still playing Magda over the Fable. Not sure. They've got 1 card in their hand right now. Okay, I drew a tap land, so no decision point here. Got 2 cards in their hand. Hoping that this Needle can survive for a few turns. Well, I guess it already has, huh? when stepping a black source, and they push my Magda, which gives me Delirium. Owl Familiar, 13 months. Thank you, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. All that good stuff. So let's start off with an attack. Last card seems to not be Endurance, which is good news. I'm going to play the One Ring over the Fable. I'm going to keep Flame Slash on top. Oh, Flame Slash the Yogg. Magda tells me, yeah, this one, I agree. I've also... the other art doesn't imply the flying as much. But I do like having the Scorpion Dragon art. The idea of a Scorpion Dragon, to me, is very cool. Committing crimes, making treasures. Seems like we're going to be off to a pretty fast 2-0. Taking a break from blue eye control and 4-color for a bit and playing your Bant Rebirth at local tournament tomorrow. Any quick tips? Or just go analyze the games? Quick tips. You have a great late game. Think of your deck like a snowball that is slowly building up. Okay, so we are on the draw. With we have Citadel Field. We have Magda turn 2. We have the ring. I'm gonna keep, and this could certainly end up going wrong. Yeah, I don't want the 9th field. Okay, so they are. Looks like they're Titan. Their Affinity. I have a bunch of Shattering Sprees on my sideboard. Not sure how game 1 is. Oh wait, sorry. Chromatic Star is not Affinity. What is Chromatic Star? Saga Chromatic Star. Eggs? Yeah, we maybe need a command for Fault and counter. Tron. Oh, you were right. It was just Tron. Okay, so I guess I get to just save the field for Tron pieces. That's nice. Could be like maybe a combo Tron variant of some kind. It's just so rare to see Tron lead on Urza Saga. Is Tron good in the meta? Tron's okay. It certainly seems playable. I think like so creativity is kind of on the uptick. Yogg is pretty popular and it's pretty good against both those decks. It's pretty garbage against Titan, I think, and I also don't really think there's a ton you can do about that. Second Magda isn't necessarily ideal, I guess. I'm gonna field them. Don't need to field on my turn because there's not really anything they could play that I could Unholy Heat. I guess maybe a Walking Ballista, but in general, would you just run at Magda without a crime to commit right away? There is no in general in modern. There's no there's no like as a rule of thumb. There's no in general. Every situation in modern is just always so different, and it just depends. It just depends on like the contents of your hand, the matchup, like what other plays you have available. But the answer is sometimes situational. Okay, one day. So you know, again, I've been playing under this account, kind of largely wondering if with this account name, will I have? Oh, okay, that's a crime. Will I have faster opponents? Just wondering. Seems the answer so far has been no. If anything, it's the opposite. Second Urza's mine. Let's go. Before playing casting Sylvan Scrying. Let's continue to go. Tron. Tron never changes. Patrol Channeler. I'll play Channeler this turn. I chose the name of the account. Okay, I did draw Channeler. What about 1 or 2 copies of Seal of Fire? I haven't thought about it. I think it's kind of interesting with Magda. Um, it's also nice with Channeler and Unholy Heat. I don't necessarily feel like I would really want to play like a 9th 1 mana removal spell in the deck, so I would wonder what to cut if I was going to add that. Okay, so we have 7 more fields in the deck. We've only drawn 1 in the top 13. We've got 3 more looks at another copy. If we draw 1 of those, we're feeling pretty good. If we don't, we're feeling not so good. But they don't necessarily have another power plant. I'm actually going to Bauble first because I can surveil deeper towards a field here. Going to save the Bauble for crime committing, probably. So there's a field. Always just a little too deep into the deck, and I am going to be unable to draw and use it this turn, huh? Can't crack a Bauble on my turn for Crime Commission either. I think I'll crack 1 on myself here. This didn't really matter. Ever try Raven's Crime with Magda? I haven't. Raven's Crime is not a very good card, but I we all have a soft spot for Raven's Crime. So they play Expedition Map, which is, maybe happy ending for us here. One problem maybe is that they're just going to be able to, we're going to field them every turn, but they're just going to replay Tron every turn. With 3/3 and Bolt, Heat, Seal, Share work, it would work, and it's, also kind of simply put, Bolt and Heat are better than Seal of Fire as power levels. So it's always a trade off of power level versus synergy. One thing too to think about is that Magda is currently very good in this deck. Magda is not a card that necessarily needs improvement. I'd say Magda is at the meet expectations level at least for our performance review. They grab a Cityscape Leveler with this card. I think I'm going to Heat now. I don't get the Crime Commission, and I'm not going to be able to kill the Karn, but I get the Surveil. I would love to find Delirium, and I would also maybe be able to just throw the Din of the Bugbear token at the Karn. I think we graveyard this for Delirium. So we won't be able to draw on with the ring until after we kill the Karn, of course. We draw for the Bauble, we draw for turn, another Heat. Sokenzan is interesting. So I think we're going to go after the power plant, so they maybe would have to tap the tower to get the Tron online. And then I think I'm going to Din of the Bugbear, send the bug token at Karn. So I'm pretty sure I can do. Nice. So when it goes down to 5, we draw bolts, we have them dead with the ring. Should I guess be upkeeping this because of the whole crime committing thing? It's maybe a little bit of a slow roll, but my opponent has a lot of mana. They could potentially have something. I don't really know. I've never seen anything that would get them out of the situation, But they only have 1 basic. Maybe they must have had more in their hand because they drew so many cards. So yeah, despite having all the fields, we have 4 Damping Sphere in the sideboard for Tron, Titan, and also some spell-based combo decks that you would not see these decks very often, but occasionally run into. I'm gonna cut all the rings. Guess we also probably want to be playing Shattering Sprees 2, where it's not super good. There's 4 answers to. Yeah, we have 4 answers to Stone and Map. That's probably a pretty good number. How's the Slicker show up in the format? Big addition for Grow Prowess. Yeah. Prowess is a good playable modern deck for the first time in a while, it seems. And there's lots of different builds. Mingu's been playing this really cool build with Tarmogoyf that looks nice, and Is it Teamer Gruul? I like Gruul the most. Are bolts good? Yeah, you're you're the aggro deck. I think I'm happy enough with Bolt. Bolt also kills Karn without Delirium. After they minus, of course. Citadel is a really important card to have. Needle's really nice to have. Ragavan's really nice to have. Not a perfect hand, but I think good enough to keep on the draw. Dr. Blondie, 36 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I'll be right back.
It's me, your friend aspiring. It's me, your friend aspiring spike. It's me, your friend aspiring spike.
Sorry, Athena's being tough to read as usual. Pretty sure there's a lot of choices here. Expedition. So I think just needling the map after they mulligan is correct. We could also play. We could just go Citadel turn 1 and then field them into play Ragavan. This is good against them having Natural Tron. Natural Tron is, of course, pretty tough to have. To play 2 Spheres and Stars here. Old Mono Red Fires. I do remember the old Mono Red Fires deck. Making a Liquid Metal Coating Karn Land Destruction deck. Sounds pretty fun. I really dislike just saying I'm going to cast Karn the Great Creator on turn 4 after I played 4 lands. I really try not to do that if possible. But it sounds very fun. Smart 3 months. Weird how my subs don't go through. Well, I'm not sure what's going on, but thank you, Pix, for subscribing. Sometimes you can like refresh and like sometimes you subscribe, but you have to press like the notification to get it. Thank you, Simon. Oblivion Stone. Probably don't want that. Now, we only saw 1 basic forest last game. I would definitely expect my opponent to have more than 1 basic. I think they probably just had 1 in their hand. But I'm going to field main phase so that I can also play the Fable here. Found it. Let's go. Thank you for 4 months, Pix. Thank you. So they can't Tron me this turn. I'll get to loot. They're not in the best shape. This should be a good matchup. Also, kind of simply put, they did find an Oblivion Stone here, which is kind of scary. Any land lets them get pretty ahead this turn, huh? Then the Bugbear is a nice pickup. I'm gonna discard the other 2 lands, I guess. On a Bauble. Hey, Mickey. You want to say hi to the stream? My friend Mickey, who I actually played the Team Pro Tour with back in the day, stayed over last night. A power plant, second power plant. He's actually... Somebody quick subscribe, or one of the notifications actually had... you're in like one of the stickers, right? One of the like... The sub notifications.
Is it when we're sitting and like laying down?
Yeah. It's the one where the Jose took, where we look like sad, defeated,
the best one ever. Magic
players. No one would subscribe on the channel for us to see, unfortunately. He's on there, playing the ring. Let me see what they're drawing when I'm drawing. I might bolt here just to like surveil if I don't like my top card. They've got a Dismember on top, so it'll be good that we can get the field going. There's a good chance that they... Oh, sorry, I just knew my top card already. Never mind. Duh. Simon with the pity sub. Okay, it's not that one. I think Mickey has the notification for... Like, someone do like 1 bit. I think it's the hey, it's me, your friend aspiring spike. I think the Mickey notification is specifically donations under $1, because we look so sad in the picture. Let's see. I see. I gotta wait for the queue. I should field main phase so they can't just use the 3rd forest to pop the O-Stone potentially.
What's up? It's me.
Yeah, there he is. Very small. Very small. But Mickey is the... Can I make that bigger? Oh. Mickey is the donations under $1 because we're both so sad.
Yeah, I saw it.
We both got eliminated from a tournament at like the same time. So hopefully if they just don't have a third forest here, they're super cooked. Okay, so they are super cooked confirmed. Put Jegantha in my hand. Yeah, it used to be. I don't know. I'm gonna resize it and make it a little bigger. Mean Run Spam, thank you for 3 months. Javins with a gifted sub. Thank you. Our friend Jose, we were just both sitting defeated after a GP, and he took it of us from afar. It's so funny.
Young Jose, I presume.
Yeah, young. Yeah, we were friends with 2 Jose's. They're brothers. They're not like the junior, second, or third, but they're both Jose last name, first name, last name, and they have a younger brother, Jose last name, and their father, Jose last name. Yeah, it always sounds like a bit, but no, it's just that's just the Jose's. Is there a reason for Claws over Relic? Yes, Claws is better than Relic because it commits 2 crimes in a turn cycle for Magda, and we're also a Dragon Rage's Channeler Unholy Heat deck, which are typically not cards you want to pair with 4 main deck Relic of Progenitus. I think, yeah, we also have, Claw Command here. More like Brose. Yeah, they're awesome. I haven't seen them in a little while. Opponent is fighting the good fight here. Don't need that anymore because we're just gonna field them every single turn. They don't have any more forest, and so like they just will just not be able to get Tron this game, and they will not be able to O-Stone me this game. They're also just dead on board, right? They didn't tap their ring yet. But I'll just present lethal, I guess. I've really missed Den of the Bugbear. Den of the Bugbear is, such a classic card on the stream. Yeah, Claws can't commit 3 crimes in 2 turns, but it can commit 2 crimes in 1 turn, which is really key because then you can just untap, commit another crime. Okay, 3-0-6-0 today. I was definitely really impressed with this deck off-stream testing last night. Feels pretty tuned for the metagame, and feels like the best Magda shell so far. I think the Inti Asmo shell was good too. I like that shell, but this one is like just harder to pick apart with hate cards, and like the hate cards for like artifacts are pretty high with all the affinity running around too. Oh yeah. So whenever you commit a crime, you make a tap treasure token. This ability triggers once each turn. What do you think a crime is for someone who used to be very enfranchised Magic player?
A crime. See, I've got no idea.
It's where you target an opponent's graveyard or a permanent they control. So we're playing Scrabbling Claws and Mishra's Bauble and like a bunch of field effects. And then, so whenever you commit a crime, you make a tap treasure. Treasure is a lotus petal. And you can sack 3 of them and make a 4/4 flying scorpion dragon with haste.
Okay. It stays forever?
It stays forever, yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, these are from Ixalan. Mickey tried teaching me Lorcana yesterday. Didn't stick. So I can play Channeler turn 1 and then be pretty bad to a turn 2 Bowmaster, since this is, likely Yogg we're up against. Holding up a removal spell isn't necessarily super ideal, since they're probably going to play Wall of Roots this turn. I'll go ahead and play the Channeler, and if they have Bowmaster, they have Bowmaster.
They're roasting the fact that you explained it.
Treader's like a lotus petal. I mean, I'm a teacher. That was that not the best way to communicate what a treasure is? Did you know what a treasure was?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't remember when you stopped playing. Really.
You're good.
Was 4 months. Then go back. No, he's still here, Danny. Still.
Oh,
There's Mickey's arm. Yeah. Okay, they are not Yogg, but they are playing Bowmaster. So they're like a Golgari scam build of some kind. So let's go ahead and play our Claws before we play Magda out, and then let's go ahead and just kill the Bowmaster before they have an Undying Effect up. Does the board plan versus Titan look very similar to Tron? I would say so, yeah. You probably bring in more Shattering Sprees against Titan than you do Tron. So they must be playing Saga in their deck, and unfortunately they have an answer to my claws, so I'm not going to be able to just go Magda, tap claws, make a treasure next turn. Not dead after all their Haywire Might. I've actually, I don't think I've ever seen anybody not dead after all their Haywire Might. Giving another way of committing, like maybe something like Fury. Fury would maybe be an okay addition. I'm kind of worried about like pitching a card to play a card. I don't know if that's how viable that would be. Got 3 cards over there. So we get to go Magda, Bolt the Might, make a treasure, which will maybe just give me enough mana for the ring next turn. Definitely do not want Might in play against the One Ring. Mickey, why do you think they call it the One Ring? If we got 2 of them.
That's insane. It should be uber legendary. You can only have one in your deck.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about the One Ring. They should only have one in the deck.
No, I don't subscribe.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I think it's a little silly, but I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Crazy rule.
They're playing so I'm assuming this is just for. Assuming it's just for like Urza Saga. They could be playing a deck that's pretty similar to Selfies, and they're splashing green for Haywire Might. Okay, no. That's not what's happening. Are they? It almost feels like they're playing coffers because they have the ring. Selfie doesn't play the ring. Just a little confused. Oh, sorry, can't. So I can crack the Bauble on their turn to commit a crime. We'll just also play our ring, I guess. See if we find a land drop. Find the 3rd ring, which is maybe a little unhelpful. Yeah, I don't know how they're coffers with Haywire Might. I don't think that makes any sense. That this Bowmaster is yikers. Shielded is even more yikers here. I think it's the Golgari Vein Ripper scam deck. No, the Golgari Vein Ripper scam deck. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're playing that. I play that? I don't think so. Did I? I don't think I played. Okay, I didn't. I definitely did not have Tassiger. So we're gonna need to find Unholy Heat. We're gonna need to find it fast. We don't have Delirium right now, so I think we just see what we draw. Draw Claws. Okay, take 4 damage. Game 2. Rough. Tassiger and Haywire Might in the same deck is kind of wild. It says that should count as a crime. I agree. To activate Magda ability. Yeah, I know you know Tassiger. That's funny.
I haven't seen that card in a long time.
So I don't want to bring in Needle for ring because I'm just also a ring deck. Ragavan is not going to be great because they're a Bowmaster build, but we are on the play. We can Needle Haywire Might. We can also Needle Karn if they're playing Karn, but how do they have just Haywire Might in their deck if they don't have Saga? We don't really want to bring in Hate for Saga because we have so many fields. I think I'm going to run it back. Could maybe bring in like a Flame Slash or 2, but it doesn't kill Shielded or Tassiger, so it seems kind of like that's unlikely to be correct. Give this one a go. Yeah, Flame Slash never looked worse. All 5 toughness creatures. Squee, 54 months, thank you, welcome back. How many... A kind of out-of-date question. How many greater than 5 CMC spells you need for Beans to be good in a deck? Beans is banned, it doesn't matter anymore. Update, they have banned the Beans. Oh, for Pioneer? I don't know. I don't know. Ask Doomwake. Pitching Liliana of the Veil. So likely losing both of our cards here. If they fetch a non-basic, I can field them and get Delirium. I could also just field the Verdant Catacombs and like just lose it and get Delirium and just be racing. I don't think I love that plan. So not Delirium. I guess I just keep that on top. Huh. Weird fetch timing. I would normally tap the Field of Ruin to draw a card off the claws. I'm just going to tap the Shinka because I know I'm going to draw claws and replay. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so looking for land or Fable. There's land, so now we are Delirious. I'm gonna graveyard this extra Demolition Field. I'll just go ahead and tap this for time's sake and then get in for 6. I always love being hellbent against a deck with a bunch of like Griefs and Thoughtseizes and stuff. There's that Haywire Might. So that helps them on the race a little bit. I'm down to 16. They're still pretty ahead in the race. Hopefully draw a relevant card. Certainly a relevant card. Obviously main phasing so they can't undie. I think we can do better than Ragavan. Drawing Fable, another removal spell, another Channeler, all pretty better. We don't want to turn Bowmaster into a relevant play either. Do you know about Orcish Bowmaster? Okay. Mickey's maybe more hip with it than I thought. Okay, goodbye, sweet Channeler. I'm gonna save the field for like either Magda or them playing a utility land like Urza Saga or Board. And they could if they like fetch another Surveil land and then they keep a card on top, then I'll field them. Do you know about Surveil lands?
I presumed that that's what that was.
Yeah, they're fetchable and they enter tapped and they Surveil 1 when they enter the battlefield. So there's another one. Yeah, you don't usually want 4. There's sometimes you want to play a bunch. They put a Bowmaster in the yard, so we don't need to field here. You don't usually want to play that many because you can just fetch them. But a lot of times you want to play more than just one. So if I can get in with this Channeler, then we can just top deck a Bolt at some point.
That's a great
draw. Yeah, it's a good draw. So now, always classic lands are good, spells are good. Forgot to mention they have basic types. I said they were fetchable. Is that not the same thing? Okay, so we are... They're confirmed Urza Saga, although that, I guess, was already pretty clear. I really don't want to have this many Ragavans on the draw. They're a Grief Scam deck. I think I'm gonna play like at least... I think I'm gonna play 1/1 Needle. Like, Needle can hit Saga, it can hit Shadow Spear, can hit Haywire Might, can sometimes name the Ring also. Or maybe I should just play another Flame Slash. Slash is just so bad against Tasigur and Shieldred. I can't believe we're playing Tasigur against Tasigur. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh, Mickey?
Yeah, man. I love that card.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Was it you that had just like a whole binder of Tasigurs at one point, or is that was probably one of the Jose's, right?
That was probably young Jose.
Yeah. Keep this one land Channeler Bauble hand on the draw. 24 land deck. You gotta crack these baubles on our turn for Bowmaster. So keep this land on top. Then I still okay, there's the Bowmaster, so definitely cracking and likely gonna, you know, get 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 2 for 1. And they have a Saga, which it gets underneath my field a little bit too. So I've got 2 types in the yard for future Delirium. Red Source or Mountain would just be good. Well, this is a little awkward. Not the end of the world. They have second Bowmaster. It is kind of the end of the world. We're up to 3 types for Delirium. Once we field the Saga next turn, we'll have our full 4 types. And they just have second Bowmasters, which wrecks us pretty bad. So down to 17. Not only are the double Bowmasters very good against my channelers, but pretty good against the ring in my hand. Of course, am also pretty sus of a Undying effect here. So I don't know if I think I'm probably just supposed to play the second claws out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take 4 and then next turn be able to kill both these and make an Undying effect in their hand, just a blank card. Mishra's Factory. And Grief. Immediately takes my ring, hits me for 4. Another Demolition Field. So I can go Bolt, Cycle Claws. I think it's probably best for me to field the Factory. I'll click no instead of yes. Just brutal. Brutal misclick with trophy in the line. Another average day on twitch.tv/aspiringspike. Yeah, I'm just main phasing it here because if they did have the Undying effect, we just get to concede. We're pretty behind anyways, but just like minus, we had like have to kill the Grief at this point, so now the claws are just so much worse. Just brutal spot. About 0%. Yeah, misclicks are just gonna happen. Obviously, this was a less than ideal time for that to happen. But it does keep a card on top. So I wonder, should I be going... Do I have the time to field and then heat? I think so. I don't really want to claws necessarily this turn. They didn't have an Undying effect last turn. Obviously, you're targeting their yard here because they've got some Delve spells. Magda would be one of the best draws. So they drew a Saga for turn. Wait, they drew Saga and they had Voidwalker in their hand already? Or were they holding... I guess they were sandbagging Saga until after I played my field, huh? So they go down to 6. I need to have a lot of relevant cards at the top, and obviously this is not one of them. Gonna cycle this and, probably lose our trophy run here. Although... Yeah, we have to find another... just try to visualize series of draws. It's like removal spell into maybe the ring, but I don't know. Didn't draw the removal spell. Okay, so not trophying this league. Could that have been a Jegantha game? Maybe. I don't think I use my mana basically every turn. Yeah, this is the content creator all access account that just dropped. I'm using it, and I don't know that I'm going to keep using it because the half the chat is just... Well, I guess I could just keep using it until people get used to it, but...
It's inspiring Timmy.
Yeah. That's me. Feels like I should just go heat, hit them with Ragavan, make the treasure. Oh. I've resized this so people can see Mickey in the other picture. Could just play the ring next turn, maybe. Could also cast Magda now. Oh, baby. Are they Boros? They're Boros. Fervent Champion, I think. Wrath, the 2 months and going back. Aether Vial. No, they are Death and Taxes. People ask me all the time about Death and Taxes, Mickey, and I just...
You tell them that it's better than...
Oh, they're playing... They're also playing... They're playing how many cards? Sorry. Oh, yeah. This is classic. Classic Mickey, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They didn't reveal yours, did they?
That card's banned.
Oh.
They're playing like 78 or 9 or something. It might be 80. But in Legacy, Mickey would always play Death and Taxes, and I would basically always play like Ant Storm. And we always had like this classic debate of who was favorite of the matchup, and it was Ant. But it was kind of like, did you know what the matchup going into it too? Because if you were Ant, you would just mulligan to a hand that could like win on turn 2, and then they would just mulligan to Thalia. But if you just won the die roll, they couldn't win, and if they didn't have Thalia, they couldn't win. And then sideboard games were also kind of dynamic of just winning before they can get to their turn 2 lock piece or removing the lock piece. My child Lion Sash. You know, this is my first ever preview card, Mickey.
Lion Sash?
Yeah.
The shitty scavenging ooze?
Yeah. And because I chat talk it so much, they don't give me any more preview cards.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't have given you a shitty card.
Yeah. Esther made a whole PowerPoint for Lion Sash. It was great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Omega Phoenix, 25 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thought that was like a Twitch notification sound. That's a Mingu's process with Goif. I like it. I mean, Mingu's like a big Goif, you know, Goif guy. But it looks cool. They have flagstones in their deck. It's kind of interesting. So still only land and instant in our yard here. Let's go ahead and commit a crime. I don't think I'm gonna double bolt for Delirium. A lot of subs. Mega Phoenix, 25 months. Please register Arbiter. Naval Pay on 19. Thank you. Thank you, Slash 21. Appreciate you, homie. And then also responded to Toto's, but I don't think I thanked you for your 18 months. Thank you. Yeah, we could be nice and field the flagstones. So the last card is a Ghost Quarter. Opponent is like all Death and Taxes players never okay, they concede actually, but resounding strong in the field of insurmountable advantage on the other side.
Never concede.
Yeah.
Never surrender.
I'm in the concede often. Camp.
No, you are.
Concede often and always. Okay, so we're gonna draw against taxes. Let's bring in the needles and the flame slashes. Ragavan's good. I'm scared. I'm kind of scared of Sanctifier in Vec, so I could maybe just cut my channelers. Let me cut a claw on the channelers. Being scared of Sanctifier. Maybe like a little light on win cons, probably okay. It's kind of nice that Magda can make flyers that can fly over Sanctifier. We got Jegantha too. Yeah, there could be 4 Squadron Hawks there. Squadron Hawk got a lot better with Collector's Cage.
I don't know what that is.
So Collector's Cage is a 2-mana artifact that it has Hideaway 5 and it enters untapped. They errated it where Hideaway enters untapped now. And you can tap it and spend a mana, put a counter on something, and then if you have 3 creatures with different power toughness, you can, or different power, not different toughness, you can cast the Hideaway card. So we've been Emrakuling some people with that and Windburst Kites.
So it's a land though?
It's an artifact, but like because Heights wants you to have 3 creatures and Cage wants you to have 3 creatures, we've just been playing both.
Gotcha. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's 2 mana. It has been pretty good. Opponent classic, like why classic? Like I'm gonna tap my vial in response to Needle, and like Taxes players just have so much fun doing that. And they just love always tap Aether Vial. Not really accomplishing anything, obviously, but they just love it. 3 mana for a Sword of Light and Shadow with the Sanctifier and Vec. That is pretty good. Yeah.
Huh?
I wanted to play the Fable, but let's not complain. Guess I should have brought in the Shattering Spree. Yeah, my favorite equipment, Sword of Light and Shadow. Not only do they have Sword of Fire and Ice in their deck, but they have Sword of Light and Shadow. And in their 80 card deck, they're not splashing for Cryptic Coat. Cryptic Coat's been really good. So another equipment. I'm really hoping they get Cauldron, I guess, but I would really be surprised if they got it. Yeah, they got Sword of Fire and Ice. That is going to be tough to beat. Especially because I don't have any more needles. I guess I need to bring in Shattering Sprees. Well, they can't necessarily play and activate it this turn. The Sword of Light and Shadow is merely a decoy for the... Oh, Purge my Fable. Okay, so they need a land to play and equip the sword. Their hand right now is sword, mystery card, mystery card. That is not the One Ring. Save me, Jegantha. I think it makes sense, right? They want to be able to like 3 mana Skyclave and then vial something in. Or did you have Pithing Needle blindness, Mickey?
I see
No?
it.
Okay.
Like 2-3 drops would be better.
Oh, they left the Ragavan alive. Yeah, I mean it depends on their hand, right? But you're right, they aren't like casting their 2s. But if Ragavan connects, like there probably is some outs to this.
Oh, if you hit that one of theirs.
Never mind. We'll play it out. So we get to like attack for 9. So this is a 4 turn clock, right? 6, 6, 6. No, 3 turn clock. So they hit me, I hit them. They hit me, I hit them. But yeah, we technically have them raced here. And we could maybe we could theoretically Den of the Bugbear, kill whatever creature they play, and then get in for 9 2 turns in a row. Obviously, they could they could also just move the stuff over. They could also put 2 creatures into play here. I've been shit talking Extraction Specialist a lot lately. It's only fair that I lose to it. They grab a Batter Skull, and then they Solitude Magic.
You were never winning.
I'm still winning this game. No, never mind. Okay. So they have sort of Light and Shadow, Batter Skull, Fire Ice, and a Lion Sash, plus more, I'm sure. Like that, like they also surely have Cauldron. Okay. So I'm glad I boarded out the channelers, I think. I'm gonna go down a Claws again. I'm gonna play 2 Shattering Sprees. Mickey, how do you feel about the number 2 for Shattering Sprees? Okay, thank you, Mickey. They were playing 80. Okay, let's keep this. Magda seems like a good way to try to beat Sanctifier. Although, we'll see if they 80 cards, by the way, me twice in a row. Usually 3-4 equipments and 60 card, 4-5 equipments and 80 cards. So funny. It's like we're gonna draw Stoneforge less often than 80. So let's make sure that we have worse draws in addition to the Stoneforge. I don't know. I Mickey's a Taxes player. I don't negotiate with Taxes players.
They shouldn't be playing 80 cards.
Thank you, Mickey. I agree.
That's all.
It's also like people got really used to building decks for 80, but it like 80 like can't be correct. Like why is 80 better than 70 or 74 or 69? One time I played 69 because I thought it was mathematically correct. I was also playing like 68, 67. I ended up feeling like 69 was good for a build of a deck, and as soon as I did that, everyone thought I was just shit posting.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's like playing 420 cards in your battle.
Yeah. Ended up not actually being correct, I think, so they were right, I guess. Yeah, we'll try to save Sokenzan for Sanctifier.
Definitely a boomer in terms of 60 or nothing.
Yeah. Well, so that one was like it was a weird combo deck where you had to have like a high density of mana value in your deck to collect evidence to like mill your opponent infinitely. That was the how the deck worked. You had to have this big density of evidence to collect, and
Evidence is when you like exile stuff from their graveyard,
from your own
from
graveyard.
your own, and it's CMC, right?
Yeah, and so like the way to get up to enough evidence to collect was just to play a bigger deck size. Is one way to do it. You don't have to do it that way. You can also play a higher mana value, but we tried both builds.
Chew.
Bless you.
Chew.
Post sport, 43 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I'll accept a Path to Exile. Let's go March. Okay, dang. Almost. And they play Giver. Both the Giver and play Fable seems like a pretty good turn here. I get to commit my crime. Could also slam the ring. Can technically make a dragon next turn if I use the Fable attack treasure token, but not a hasty dragon that can attack. Yeah, Lucy's the best. So they march this token to him. Then they play turn 4 Aether Vial. They leave the Sanctifier back since they're pretty behind, which makes sense. Let's loot away both of these lands. Okay. I commit the crime of looking at the top card of your library with Mishra's Bauble. Opponent, congratulations. You'll be drawing land number 3 next turn. Hopefully not allowing you to Skyclave Apparition me. Although if they Skyclave me, then I would have a blue blocker for Sanctifier, which is something. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Sanctifier is still a scary card. I'm glad I boarded out the Channelers. Yeah.
Not a sword, is it?
Yeah. It's true.
Here.
Wise words. They do have the Skyclave. They might go through the ring.
Oh, they should get to
Yeah, I also kind of feel like they should probably go after the ring. I just draw another Magda, right? Probably just want to like field their silent clearing as the crime I'm committing on my turn. And then just play Ragavan with Bolt Up. I don't think I need to have 2 Bolts Up. I could keep up the other field for like a crime on their turn maybe. Yeah, I guess playing the Ragavan doesn't really matter, huh? So make a dragon. Also, could just have 2 bolts, I guess. We tried Magda and the Sack Devil. I'm having a really hard time building that deck. We had a deck tech for it on Friday too. I'm having a really hard time where it's like, if you're playing Magda and you're playing Mayhem Devil, you should have 4 Mishra's Bauble. But I'm having a really hard time also fitting Grief Scan, which I think is mandatory for the sacrifice deck to be able to like interact with some opponents. Yeah, I'm just having a tough time with it. I've been getting the 4. Getting this seems so nice. Seal of Fire for the Sack deck. You could play Seal of Fire. It is good with Magda and it's good with Mayhem Devil. It's a good suggestion. And I also, yeah, I think trying to move it into like a different kind of build is interesting too. I also really want to play Unearth when playing Magda and Spyro and Mayhem Devil. It doesn't seem like at the moment there's necessarily room for Unearth. I'm just having a hard time with the build. So do I want to copy the Illusion token or the dragon? Probably the Illusion token. That clicking is Lucy's tail hitting the chair. So they could have solituded my Fable, and now they're just having to go after my Illusion token. It's nice that we have a Bolt if they happen to have Ephemerate. I don't necessarily think Ephemerate is the most likely. Just gonna smack in for 4, field their castle, and then Ragavan. Let's see, okay, they have a Purge. treating the symptom, but not the disease. So next turn we'll be able to make another dragon and then copy it, and then also potentially bolt them for lethal. I mentioned Generous Plunderer. Let me reread Generous Plunderer. Yeah, I don't know why they attack with that Skyclave. Generous Plunderer. At the beginning of your upkeep, you make a treasure token. When you do, target opponent makes a tap treasure token. That there's the problem. I think Plunderer is worse than Scallywag. Now, although Scallywag wouldn't be very good in this deck because we don't have fetch lands nor room for fetch lands. But yeah, don't think it's really where you want to be. Because I'm just gonna bolt them right now. It's like they can't like kill my Magda to stop me from making a dragon because I just have a second Magda in hand. In fact, like we want to bait the removal spell on the Magda here. Oh, sorry. I should have just made the because you can only make it as a sorcery. So if they have Path to Exile, exactly, we put into it, huh? But make another dragon. Copy the dragon. Dude, I love Magda. Magda's really good. I love a 2-drop. Okay, so 4-Wonder first league on the day. We're gonna run it back. Didn't even seem like that scam matchup should have been too tough. Their build was kind of weird. The like natural drawn Haywire Mites are pretty good. The second Bowmaster was pretty good. Not really anything in these chesties. I think run it back, no changes for now. Oh.
Come on. Get on out of here.
Okay. Love you, Mickey.
Hey, bro.
See you on the other side.